So this is where we stopped in step number 6, which is to plan the number of employees. What are the number of employees in each department? As I said, 15 in assembly department, 5 in maintenance department, and 5 in cafeteria. How to implement in SAP? This is what we are going to do. So in order to complete it, we'll move to our SAP screen and we'll create our, or we'll complete this process. How to do it? Right, so we are going to change, right? So for this one, the transaction is, you can follow menu path or the transaction which I'm going to give you. This is the transaction path to change our employee. Remember, we already created our key figure, right? We are going to change it now, right? So first, on this screen 301, make sure you are on this planning screen, right? So version here is, make sure it is selected as 0. Period is, means in terms of months, from 1 to 12 months of present year, which is 2022. This is what you need to enter. Now cost center, here you have to enter. What is the cost center? First, remember, we are going to add the assembly department first. What is the number of employees in assembly department, or in our case, cost center is this one, assembly employees, AS double Y1999. Now this one is for our assembly cost center, right? So cost center is assembly, and our statistical key figure is, just let me put it, our, yes, group, just delete it. Statistical key figure is what we have is employee. So cost center is assembly based on our number of employees. Make sure all other fields are blank, just like this one. It's very important. By default, it will be entered. And make sure in the bottom it is entry. Form based is selected. This is very important. Just pause for us a little while and just compare your entries with what you have on my screen. Okay, so this is very important. Then after you enter this one, so you have to see overview screen. This one here, overview screen, F5 or this one. After, and enter the information. Current plan value. The current plan value is 15 employees. Okay, that we are currently want to have maximum 15 number of employees in this department. Which department? It is, remember, it is assembly department, cost center. And then save it. Yes, I'll just go back. Yes, I'll say yes, data has been saved. So one is done. Now we have to do the same thing for maintenance department to have 5 employees. So how to do it? For there, here, instead of assembly, It is was my code for MAIN1, MAIN. Remember the cost center, which is MAIN 1. Okay, based on okay employee statistical. Okay, then form base selected. So overview screen, and you have to enter here how many employees is 5. You'll say same. Post done. Maintenance is done. Now I have to do it for cafeteria. uh, Number of employees in cafeteria, which is our cost center, KAFE 1. This is our cost center. So the third cost center. Also, they have 5 employees. So is done. It is being done for this cost center as well. So step number 6 has been done. Now next one is you have to put for the activity types how many hours they were supposed to spend in each department, which is step number 7. I'll share you step number 7, which we are going to do now. Plan activity output, step number 7. Now as you can see here, right, now what are the activity outputs? It means that for maintenance department, they were expected, or their budgeted hours are 1800 for 1 year. For assembly, their budgeted hours are 6000 hours they will work, right? So this is the planning. Remember, we are completing now. This is the given data, 1800 hours for this cost center group, right? Their activities, they are supposed to perform 1800 hours of maintenance services in a year, and assembly, they are supposed to perform 6000 hours in 1 year. This is estimated. Remember, this is managerial accounting. What is actual will be entering through financial accounting when employees actually work. So we expect, or the we budgeted hours are 1800 for maintenance, and budgeted hours for assembly are 6000. How to do it in SAP? We have to complete step number 7. How to complete step number 7? You need to go to your SAP screen, which has a different transaction. Okay, by default you will see you are here in 301 node. This is not the correct transaction, so you have to go back, right? For that one, the transaction is, I'll share. So just follow the menu path. Let's see what we have. It is accounting, controlling, cost center, accounting, controlling, cost center, accounting. After this one, you have cost center, accounting, planning, which is in bottom somewhere. Planning here, as you can see, not under master data, cost center, accounting, this side. Planning here. So cost center, first controlling, cost center, accounting, planning, under planning, activity output prices, this one here, come down, yes, here. KP26. This is the transaction. Or later on, if you want to see it, display, change. I'm on change screen now. KP26. And complete as shown in step number 7 of the handout. So our cost center, see here it is 201. Same thing, everything is same. So cost center here should be, remember we are entering it for maintenance. They are supposed to work for 1800 hours. So cost center is maintenance, right? This one. Okay, and activity type is maintenance hours, not A, it should be M. Okay, 0112, this, okay, and then we'll, okay, and our view screen, we have to enter plan activity 1800, then save it, it's done. Similarly, we will do it for assembly department, second one, not this one, should be assembly, and this one should be assembly hours, right? Which is 6000 hours, and save, and it's done. So step number 7 has been done. So step number 7 has been done. Now we are on step number 8, which is to plan primary cost inputs. Exit, and this is what we are going to enter now. So I'll share the case scenario. See now what we are going to do now. This one, see the cafeteria costs. What are the cafeteria costs? 60,000. Remember, this is what we have, right? So what are their costs? Remember, 60,000 is for salaries, right? And 19,000 is for some of the purchase services they use, 60 plus 90. Maintenance department, their cost is 60,000, as you can see here in the presentation slide. This one, in maintenance department, this is their cost, 60,000. I'll just show you in case it's 60,000. And assembly department, their wages or salaries are 150,000, which you can see here. Now we will be entering this data. So just a minute, I need to close. So we are entering all the information now. So what we are entering now is cafeteria costs, which is 60 plus 90,000, maintenance cost, which is salaries, 60,000. For assembly department, their cost, which is wages. Remember, wages is a variable cost. Wage is variable, depend on the number of hours someone work. So wage is variable, other are the fixed costs. So this is what we are supposed to do it in SAP as well. So this is what you have, the same thing which we have just now discussed on our slide. The same thing is available here in our handouts. Step number 8. As you can see here, 60 plus 90 for purchase services in cafeteria. 60,000 is for maintenance, this one, and assembly wages are 150,000, this one. Okay, so let's plan these cost inputs into our cost center accounting. That this is, remember, this is the estimated, or you call it the budgeted cost, okay, which we have to enter it for each cost center. What are the cost centers? Cafeteria, maintenance, assembly. What are they supposed to spend? Okay, this is our budgeted cost. So let's move to our SAP screen and complete this process. Step number 8. So just follow the menu path. What is the menu path there, right? Accounting, controlling, cost center, accounting, planning, right? Under planning, it should be cost and activity inputs. So I'll go to, not this one. I'll just close these, this one here. So cost and activity inputs, change here, which is this one, KP06. See, you have 101. The screen here, layout is 1-101. Make sure layout, for example, it's a different layout. Make sure you are in different layout always. It's very important for so these steps. Step number 6, 7, and 8. It's very important to look at the layout. Right, step 6 is different layout. Step 7 is a different layout. Step 8, which we are now, is a different layout, different screen. They appear same, but they are different. Okay, now let's see version 112. Okay, cost center is cafeteria, first one. And here just cost element, which we So see here, you have to come down to see what are the missing. And bottom you have cost element. It's not showing here. So I have to scroll down to the screen on the right side. You'll see in the bottom cost element. Change it. So cost element should be labor expense, which is, remember, our salaries. This one here, right? So you can search it here, right? Our code is given. Cost element is chart of account is, you can search it. Yes. This is all different. I need to go to cost element should be just a minute. Then we have to click on overview screen to enter the data here. Right, so this is the labor expense account number which we enter. Leave here, make sure everything is blank. Only overview screen we have to enter our fixed costs for labor expense in cafeteria. Remember, there are two costs, right, for purchase services and for labor expense. This one we are entering for labor services for cafeteria, which is 60,000. So this is the plan they are supposed to spend. Save it, it's done. So now we put a fixed cost of labor expense. Now we do the same thing, right, for other cost element, which is purchase services. What is the chart of account for purchase services? Is we have for cost element is 741000 is given right here. You need to come down, scroll it, and bottom. This cost element should not be this one. It should be, as mentioned in the handouts, 741000. This is what is our chart of account for purchase services, which is 90,000 amount. So to enter it, you need to go to overview screen. So we are entering it for cafeteria. So planned fixed cost is 90,000. This one. So 90,000 is the cost which we are entering for cafeteria. Remember both of them. So cafeteria on top, you can see it, and it is done now. Now we'll do the same thing. Now cost center for maintenance department, remember there was a cost of 60,000. Their cost, the budgeted cost for maintenance department is only 60,000. For cafeteria, we entered two now, already entered, right? One for labor, one for purchase services, right? For other expenses, which we already entered. Now we are entering it for the maintenance department. Their labor cost is this one, because labor expense will go to financial accounting as a general ledger account. Okay, so now labor expense is this one, which we are going to enter now here in our, instead of cafeteria, it should be, I think this one, maintenance. Okay, this is our cost center, maintenance. Bottom cost element, let me see. Yes, so what is the cost element for this one is a labor cost, so it will be same which we enter this one. Okay, form base is selected, make sure and go to overview screen and enter over there the fixed amount of 60,000. This one. So it has been done now for maintenance department. Now we'll do it for assembly department, because for assembly department we are going to do it, right? Also there is an activity type as well for assembly, because they have activity type which is assembly hours as well, to use or to allocate the cost to different cost centers. So we'll do it. This is for assembly 199, but you have to have for this one activity type, which is A 999, and cost element, if you scroll down, cost element, it will be labor expense, same 70. Yeah, this is account is same. So for this one, you'll go to overview screen. We know that this one, remember, for wages for assembly workers, right, which you have to enter, which is a variable cost, it's not fixed cost. So their variable cost was 150,000 here, not here. Remember, don't put it here, it should be here, because assembly employees are paid as a variable. Wages are variable always. It depends on the number of hours worked by those employees. So 150,000. So we entered all the costs. Is done. We entered the cost for cafeteria, which were two costs, right? One for salaries, one for purchase services. For maintenance, we entered, and for assembly, we entered their budgeted cost. This is what we have just done. So it means we have finished step number 8. Okay, now we are on step number 9. So now we are on step number 9 now. I'll share the screen of step number 9. So what is the step number 9, which we are going to see now here? Step number 9. Plan internal activity input. This is what we are going to do now, step number 9. Right, what we are going to do is we are going to see the maintenance activity input for assembly. Remember, we said that, remember that maintenance cost will be given to assembly department, right? This is what we said before, because maintenance are providing services to assembly department. So we are going to do this one, right? Okay, how can we do it? How can we, in other words, how can we assign the maintenance cost to assembly department? So these are the steps which we need to follow in step number 9. So let's move to SAP screen. So we'll follow same thing: accounting, controlling, cost center, accounting, and from planning, cost and activity inputs. So basically change so just KP06, same transaction, but there is an important point here which you need to remember. See on top what is there. This is screen 101, one layout. What is the layout? No, this one we have to go to next layout, not this layout. So you need to go to next layout by clicking here. Should be 102 here. Yes, this is important because that one should be for activity input, because we are going to put this one. So this is important. So very carefully stop the recording and see how it is being done. Okay, so we are going to have now what we are going to do is we are going to assign maintenance cost to assembly. But before that one, you have to plan the maintenance activity for assembly. This is what we are going to do, right? So it means that how many hours maintenance department, the services, the budgeted hours they will provide to assembly department. In our case scenario, it is 600 hours. That 600 hours of maintenance department will be budgeted for assembly hours. They expect to provide 600 hours in 1 year. This is what is our planning. So how to do it? We'll see it now in the screen. Here you have to enter the cost center. First, make sure it is, what is the cost center? It is assembly, right? So what is the cost center? So cost center, assembly, activity. Then instead of activity type, we show you, you delete this one and scroll down. You'll see sender. See here at the bottom of the screen. So sender, first of all, cost center. Who is sending this cost? So the maintenance cost is transferring or sending their cost to assembly, right? So sender cost center is MAIN, maintenance, right? They are the one who are sending their cost. And what are maintenance department activity type is the maintenance hours, right? Which is M. We already created this one for this department. So see what information we entered here. Sender. See who is the receiver cost center, or in other words, see cost center. First this one. Sender cost center is maintenance, and their activity type just come in the bottom. It should be M, and the amount which we are going to enter on the overview screen is 600 as a planned fixed consumption. that they expect, maintenance department, right? They have 600 hours for assembly department, their budgeted hours, and then save it. So it is being done. So step number 9 is done. And now step number 10 is you can review your planning, what you have done so far. You can review your plan, which is step number 10. What we have done so far, you can review your planning. Okay. Now what are their inputs, what we have done so far? So step number 10 is just to review what we have done. So how you can see this one, there is a menu path. You can follow that one. So this one is basically a transaction. Just a minute, I'll give you, or follow the menu path. This is the menu path, KSBL, and you can enter a cost center, just one by one. Cafeteria, remember what are the costs which we entered before? If you don't know, I'll show you the screen which we use. See, this is the cost. How this cost will be assigned to other departments. Remember, cafeteria cost will be assigned 690, 150,000. How it will be assigned? How much to cafeteria based on number of employees? How much to maintenance? How much to assembly? Out of 150, how much it will be assigned? This is what we are going to see now. Now we have done a planning. Now what we want to see, the results of these activities. This is what we are going to see now. So you can see now a cafeteria cost center. Okay, so make sure you enter all the 1 to 12. Version is 0. Okay, this. Okay, so execute to see the report. See, this is our report. Labor expense 60, 90,000. So that's how you see. So your screen should be like what you see here. The miscellaneous expense, and this is what it is assigned. This is just our plan, right? We are just reviewing it. We are not doing anything. This is what we have done. Okay, so what we have done now here, the cost center is cafeteria, and this is their cost, 60 labor, 90 is their purchase services. These are their main costs. Okay, so how they're going to assign them, this is what we are going to see. Now this is for cafeteria. We know it is 150. Maintenance was 60, assembly was 150. I'll show you cafeteria. Now you can review the cost for other cost center, right? Maintenance cost center, I can, sorry. This is my maintenance cost center. I can see the cost. See, it was 60,000 labor expense only, and it will be allocated maintenance costs. It will be allocated to, remember, to assembly department. We'll see it later on when we put the actual hours. Right now, their budgeted cost is 60,000, but it will be allocated to assembly department as well. You can see here the partner object here. We'll see it later on. This is for maintenance cost. It will be assigned to assembly. Now, similarly for assembly, I can see my plan. See, is 150,000. But also they will receive another cost from maintenance as well. It will be shown here later on in the next steps. So this is what we have done our planning. So this one was basically our step number 10. Now next one is to create assessment, means how cafeteria cost will be assigned to other departments, right? Assessment, how it will be done. This is what we are going to see now, and how these costs will be assigned, we'll see it next step, right? So step number 11 in create, just a minute.